Okay, you are welcome to this video. My name is Barrister Dr. Lucky Oyededoze. So I'm putting up this video for the sake of those who have been coming around asking how they should generate their EPMS report for their staff. Nevertheless, that these were taught during our series of training last year from the beginning of the PMS, which is the activities area, down to uh, appraisal page and even down to contract page. But this video, like I said, is just to guide us if you still have one or two challenges. So the first thing you start is to look at the service-wide template to see whether your department reflects. If it does not reflect there, all you need to do is to go to no, please, sorry, you're supposed to start from the presidential. I know not many departments will find anything here that they are to do. Then you move to service-wide, you check whether your department reflects on any area, whether on that lead, co-lead, or others. But essentially, every department has activity that they generated before now as far as the operational template is concerned, which is this. Please, in this video, just be following my cursor. So now, if I am taking any of the department, for example, let me just take any of the department as my own department. So now, if I take, for example, okay, let me just take my own department, which is DPROS. So if I take that, for example, and I want to generate EPMS report for my staff, all I need to do is to first and foremost go to this operational template and look for where my activities appear on the template. Now this is PROS 001 and I want to generate EPMS report for, let me begin by one staff. So if I am to assign duties to that staff or a couple of staff under my department on key result area 1 and key result area 2, all I need to do is to move the key result area. So you can see now, let me start from this PROS 001. I'll just copy it here. I'll copy it. Then I'll go to the quarterly performance appraisal page, which is this. So before then, I would have put the surname of the staff, assuming the surname is John. Then the first name is Michael, while the other name is, let's say, Mary, John Michael Mary. Then this designation is planning officer 2. And this person is going for promotion to the rank of planning officer 1. So the IPPIS, let's say, is 101010. I'll put it there. Then the email number, the email address, I'll just put the email address there. Then the phone number of this staff, I'll put the phone number there. Then the designation, of course, the department, of course, you can see here, I'll put the department DPROS. Then the supervising officer, let's say in my department, I'm the supervising officer as well as can still countersign. I just say, okay, the surname of the supervising officer, for example, is Jackson. Jackson Jacob. If there is no other name, I don't need to bother myself. Then the rank of the supervisor or the head of department will enter there. So the same thing here. After you have filled that, we now go to the operational plan. Like I said, this is the operational page. I'll copy the key result area. You don't highlight it, copy it. Come to the quarterly performance appraisal page. I'll paste it under the key result area. You can see the head here. I'll paste it under the key result area. Then this is number 1. So I'll pick the corresponding weights to the key result area, which, okay, sorry, this very one, we deleted it. because we have to use this one for 2026, so to speak. Let's assume that the key result, the weight here is 0.020. So I'll just pick it 0.20. I'll pick it. It's either I pick it or I'll just memorize it, come here and put it 0.020. Then I'll go back and pick the corresponding objective, which is this. You see, this key result area has two objectives. So I'll pick the first one. I'll copy it, come back to the quarterly performance page. Then I'll put it under the objectives. So here, since this is 0. Okay, let us increase this one to 0.05 as the case may be. So now it is 0.05. Assuming the weight attached to this objective under this KRA weight is 0.25, I'll put it here 0.25%. So you can see before now, let me delete it. Before now, you see this formula is here. Please ensure that you do not delete this formula. So now, once you type it, the formula will convert this to your graded weight. So I will now go back and pick the KPI, which is the key performance indicator corresponding to it. I'll come here. This is the KPI corresponding to it. I'll copy it. Then come back to this quarterly performance page and put it under KPI. So what was the target that was set corresponding to this KPI, to the objective and the KRA? So I'll come back here again and look at it. The objective was that we want to trade 50 pieces. So I'll come back here and put that target for the objective, which is 50. So 50 is not 50%. So all I need to do is to format this place to make it not to be a percentage. You can put down here and can just take number and maybe retype 50. So this 50, you can equally remove the decimal point, so it becomes 50. Then the unit of measurement is number. So the unit of measurement as number is represented by the hash button. We put it there. So now the second objective under this key result area, I'll go and pick it, which is this to ensure that EPMS template data dash is done. So I'll copy it as the second objective. I'll come back to this quarterly appraiser. I'll put it under what? Objective. So remember, this 0.50% is still the weight of this. So now, how much of the weight, this 0.05% of this KRA weight, is this objective sharing? Let me just say it's equally 0.25. I'll take it 0.25. I'll put it there. Remember that in your, this way you can always come here, this, and reduce the number of decimal points. So you remember that, like I said, in the operational plan that you have, which we develop, which we send back to your department, all this weight, the weight are there. So it's because we have cleaned up this one for 2026 use. That's why the weights are not there. So it is the weight you have to pick, the corresponding weight. So now, having done that, I will now come back and put the KRI corresponding to the KPI corresponding to it. I'll pick it. Sorry, it is better to highlight it and copy from here. Just highlight it here and copy it. Then I'll go to the quarterly this thing again. I'll come here and paste it under KRI. So now, what is the target that was set against this objective? Let me go back and check. So the target here is qualitative target. All I just need to do is to put yes. If that was how you set your own, because every department has a way of setting their own. Remember, when we're training, we said your target can either be in percentage, in number, or in qualitative expression. So unit of measurement here now is just to replace the word yes. So now I have picked the KRA that I want to assign to this staff. I'll pick the corresponding weight. I'll pick the objective speaking to it, and other details I've picked them. So I still want to assign more duty to this staff under another KRA. So I'll go back to my operational template. So now, let me say now I want to assign this KRA2 to this staff also. So I'll copy it now. I'll copy it and I'll come back. Please, sorry, this video may be a little bit long, but just follow me. Here, I will now put 2. Then I'll paste the KRA. So I'll take the corresponding weight. Assuming the corresponding weight here now is, let's say, 0.80. That's what appearing on the page. So if it comes like this, all you just need to do is to come here and reduce the number of decimal points. So I'll go back and pick the corresponding objective. Corresponding objective under here now is this, which is a number of statistical dash. Please, sorry, I made a mistake to have like deleted it. So I'll pick it exactly the way I did the first one. That is just the way. I'm just trying to do another one to make it more comprehensive. So assuming the way that is shared from this, deriving from this operational page is out of this 0.8, let's say is 0.5. I just put here 0.5. Then I'll move on. Remember, I always say you can always, even if you don't edit that, it doesn't really mean you don't reduce the decimal number of decimal points. It doesn't really mean. So now the next thing is to pick the corresponding KPI. I'll come here again. I'll pick the corresponding KPI, which is sorry, let me go back to yes, corresponding KPI. I'll come back here and pick the corresponding KPI, which is this. I'll come here and copy it. I'll copy it, come here, then I'll paste. Please, sorry, what we pick here was supposed to be the objective. Let's go back and pick the objective. This is the objective. So I'll come here and pick the objective. So when you are picking this, please be careful so that you don't make a mistake, just like what happened here. But I've corrected it. So you can pull down your cell. So now, what was the target attached to this very objective, speaking to this KRA? So let's check. You see the target is 24. So I'll come back here and put the 24. Then the unit of measurement, 24 is not 24%, it's 24 in number. So you can always format, you can right click it and come to format. You don't have to follow the shortcut. Then you take number. Once you take number, you say okay. It will convert it to a mere number or text. So the unit of measurement here now is what? Is a number. I'll put this. Let me still go ahead and pick the additional objective under this KRA. I'll go back here. Let me just scroll up and see. Okay, which is this. You know, in your department, it depends on how you have structured your work. It's possible that your KRA has just one objective or has 10 objectives. So whatever is the case, it is your responsibility to pick it the way you stated it in your activities. So now, what is the corresponding weight? Remember, we are sharing this weight. What is left there is 0.30. So I've taken that. Now, then I'll look at this again. What is the KPI corresponding to it? I'll come back here. I'll look at the KPI, which is this. I'll pick it. I'll pick the KPI. I'll just copy it, come back here and paste it. So now what is the target that was set corresponding to that KPI? I'll come back to this my operational page again. Yeah, which is 10 here. It is 10, you can see it. I'll come back here and put the 10. So here again, I have to format. You can just copy from here and paste. Then change the number to whatever number you want. Then I'll put the unit of measurement as the hash sign there. So now let me stop here for picking for migrating my data from the operational page to my quarterly assessment page for this very staff. But another thing you have to bear in mind before I proceed on this page is that when you have picked everything that your department developed under this operational plan, then you now go back and check the whole of the template from beginning to end and see where your department appear as a co-lead. Because you as a lead department, you are the one that generated those activities. But there are some activities that were not generated by your department. However, you appear under them as co-lead. For example, now DPROS generated this very objective, this initiative to this point. But the DPROS now discovered that ICT will have to render some assistance. That's why ICT is appearing here as a co-lead. So if this happens, all you need to do after you have picked your main area of activities, you go through the whole template. Wherever you appear, you have to go and pick the key result area there, the objective corresponding to it, the weight, the KPI, just exactly what I did. Then you now indicate that you are, assisting that department to achieve their objective. But it will just appear under your quarterly performance appraisal page in case you want to assign it to your staff. So now, having done that, what I need to do now, this is very important. I've been able to capture data covering three cells. That is three row, one, two, three, no, four row. So all I need to do is to come here, now. I will first of all assess. Now, if I'm assessing this staff on this very first objective, as you can see here, let's say I want to assess this staff on this first objective, and I've looked at the performance of this staff, and I say, okay, let me now put a percentage. Let me assess this staff based on what is here. So all I need to do is to ensure that I score this star based on my own personal assessment. Okay, let me say this star has performed very well, and I want to give this star between 81 to 90. I'll just put what I want to give the star to. I'll just put it there. So, insofar as I have put it there, you now discover that the score will automatically translate to this raw score, and it will further compute it to weighted score. Then the second one, let me now say I score this staff between 61 to 70. So I'll just put 65 here, for example. So you can see it has translated to this place. Then the second one, maybe the staff has performed so well between 91 to 100. Let's say I put 92. I put 92. So you can see, just be observing here. Let's say the last one, the staff performed well to the extent that it is very good, which of course is between 71 to 80. I will not score between 71 to 80. Let's say I give the staff 74. So now you can see it has computed here. So the next thing I have to do, if I don't want to make my work look more attractive, so the cell that I did not occupy, this cell I did not occupy, then I'll just come here. I will highlight the cell that I did not occupy. Let's say up to this point, you can see, but don't delete this. Please enter number of rows frequency in the next gray cell. Don't delete it because this one has its own formula. But from what I've highlighted, I can come to the edge here. You can see this cursor. I will right click, then delete. So once I have done that, I've been able to expunge those areas that I do not need from my template. But the next thing I have to do is to look at the number of rows. Like I was saying, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rows. So you must enter the number of rows here. You can see it now. It say once I place it here, it's telling you please count. You can look at it. Say please count the number of rows into which you enter raw scores and enter the figure here. So here now there are 4 number of rows. I'll just put 4 here. So once I put 4 here, it has calculated whatever I put here. All my scores have been calculated, and it has been graded over what? 70. Because this very section for those who are going for promotion, this is section 4. carries 70 marks. Whatever you are computing here is going to be over what? 70. So as a result, you can see that it has converted it. Say total session score over 70 equals to 55. Which with this person score 55 over 70. So I am done with that session 4. So the next session I have to go now is session 5, which is competencies. So I'll come here, effective decision making. Under strategic thinking, what do I give to this staff? No, in the first place, you are the one that determine this target. Though it can be predetermined. Maybe in 2026, we'll just predetermine it. But if you have determined it, they are 9 variable giving us a total score of 20. That is the maximum. The target the person is striving at that you're assessing is 3 under here. This is 2, this is 3, and so on and so forth. So now, as a head of department, you have to score the person. Under strategic thinking, I'll say, okay, this staff has performed very well. It's good in strategic thinking. I can give them 2 over 3. Then under effective communication, I may say, okay, I give it 2 again. Under the officer should possess whatever. Let me say I give 1. Here I give 1. Here I give 1. Here I give 1.5. Here I give 0.7. Here I give 1. Here I give 2. But what you need to know is that you don't score person 0. You must either, it can be a fraction or a whole number. So now the person has scored 22.2 over 20. The next thing is to go to the other section. If I come to the other section, which is section 6, which has to do with operations and processes. You see here, we are equally broken the variable down, but it is not more than 10. So the implication is that if you add this 10 to this is 30, then the previous section we worked on above is 70. That's give you 100. Here now, let me score the person again. Let's say under this variable, I score the person 2 over 4. Here, I score the person 1 over 3. Then I score 1 point, let's say 1.8 over 3. So it's having 4.8. Now you have done your work. You have done the assessment. So what you now see here is the breakdown. The template has automatically calculated the breakdown. You can see that appraisal rating, the first session, which is session 4, this person scored 55 over 17. Then the next one is called 12 over, it's called 12 over 20. Then the last one is called 4.8 over 10. So now in your template, this one should have been empty already, should be empty. So you see you have the first quarter here, the second quarter, the third quarter, the fourth quarter. So if this assessment I did is for the first quarter, I will just manually enter this 14 under the first quarter here. I'll enter 14. So once I enter 14, the cumulative score for the year is 4 over 20. So by the time I am done with the quarter, all I need to do is to save my work, and duplicate. And that's what it's called. There's a way you duplicate it. We have taught that one in the class. You duplicate this one to make it and resave it. You duplicate the entire template and the entire template of your PMS. You duplicate it and save it as Q2 PMS for your department. So now you go through the whole assessment again. So in that case, how do you go through the whole assessment? Remember that all these things, they are constant. You are no longer changing this one for the rest of the year. You only come and rescore this stuff by entering new variables into all these scoring areas. Then at the end of the quarter again, you now get your score, total score for that staff. You come back and enter the total score. Let us just assume for the purpose of this training that you have done the second quarter and this staff score 17. After you have got the 17 here, you now transfer the 17 to this place. Then you save your work again, you duplicate it again and name it Q3. After you have done your assessment at the end of the Q3, let's say this person scores 16. Yeah, after your assessment, you bring the 16 here. Then again, you copy and save as Q4, which is the final quarter of the year. So at the end of the year, you assess the staff again. Then whatever appears here after your assessment, assuming now it is, let's say 15, you bring the 15 up here under Q4. So at the end of the year, this person has scored a total of 16 over 20 as the total EPMS score. So let me just give this place a different color, also to speak. So let's say I've given it a different color to make it look different, whatever. The color is not that, is not what is important. What you have done is that you have been able to assess this stuff. So now this stuff has 16 over what? Over 20 as its EPMS score. And this score now replaces the old upper, which will enter the person's column during a promotion exam. That column that used to be upper will now be EPMS score. And this number will now enter there as the score for that staff. Now, I have done this for just one staff, and I feel that the staff that I have in my department, they are even doing similar duties. So there's no need to start assigning one duty different from the other, because we are all doing similar duty. All I need to do is to duplicate this. That is, after I must have been done for that first quarter. All I need to do is to duplicate. To duplicate, you just come, place your cursor, please, sorry, your cursor at the extreme end, left hand corner. Then you take your cursor down. These were taught in the class. I'm just re-emphasizing it. You highlight it to copy. You copy. After you have highlighted the work, you now copy. You can take Ctrl C. You see this thing like a ring moving around it. After you have done that, don't just paste the work anyhow. You must take your cursor to the edge, see, to the edge of the template. Leave a space about 2 rows. This first row, second row, then by the third row, place your cursor there at the edge of the template and take Ctrl V. Press Ctrl and V together, or you paste the way you used to paste your work. You see now it has duplicated this. It has duplicated it. So all I need to do is to enter my staff, the other staff I want to apply this template to. Let's say this staff now is let's say do 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 well. I don't know. Do well. Do well. Uh, Rachel Great. Assuming that is his name. Then is the same rank, or maybe another rank, whatever. I will not change the IPPIS number to the IPPIS of that staff. Then of course the email I will change it. Then the phone number I will change it. I'll change the phone number. The department remain the same. The head of department or the supervisor remain the same. So after I've done that, what do I do? Because definitely I will not score them the same way. I will not come here and rescore. Maybe where I score 85 here, I may score this one 68. Then where I score 65 here, I may score this one, let's say 72 or 73. So where I score 92 here, I may score this one, let's say 86 or 85. Where I score 74 here, I may score, sorry, where I score, where is it? 85. Where I score 70, whatever that was there, I'm excited to score this person now. Let me look at it. I'm excited to score this person 55. So I finish scoring. Then these four remain, because I occupy 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rows. These 4 remain. You see, this person has scored 49 over 70. So I will now come up here. I'll now come up here. Of course, I'm not going to score them the same. Let's say I scored this person 3 here. Where I score 2 here, I score 1. Where I score 1 here, I score 2. Where I score 1 here, I score 1. Where I score 1 here, I score 1. Where I score 1.5 here, maybe I score 0.5. Where I score 0.7 here, I score 1. Where I score 1 here, I score 0.5. Where I score 2 here, I retain scoring 2. Then I'll now come here. I've now come here and rescore. Where I scored 4 here, I may score 3. Where I scored 2 here, I may score. Where I score 1 here, I may score 2. Where I score 1.8 here, I may score 1. So now, remember, this place will be cleared. This place will be cleared. Then I will now come. You see now this person scored 13. So I will transfer this 13 for the first quarter. I will transfer it here. So I will repeat this process again. First quarter, second quarter, just the same way I've explained. So this is essentially how you can generate your EPMS report for your staff. So after which, the next thing you do is to print out. Once you print out, let's go to print, but I'm not going to print out. Let us demonstrate it. You go to file, you take print. You see, if you look at this very well, you will discover that you might discover that in printing out, if somebody's page might enter another person's page. But all you need to do, once you have been able to duplicate for all your staff, there is what you call page breaking. This video will not be enough for us to go into all that. But nevertheless, it is as simple as ABC to just remove those page break issues, and then make sure that you print out a copy for each of your staff. Thereafter, you sign. You have to sign the corresponding columns for, if you look at it very well, though it is very tiny, you will see where they write appraisal's comment, and those that is supervisor's comment, the space for supervisor's signature and name, they are all there. So you print it out. The appraisal will make his or her own comment. You, the appraiser, or what do I call it now, the supervisor, you make your own comment. Then you will sign. The appraisal will sign. So it is that copy that you printed out, you not give to your staff, just like you used to give your APER score to your staff. You not give it to your staff. Your staff will not take it to human resources, and human resources we look at the score that the staff has and extract it from the EPMS report. For example, in this case now, the human resources, we extract this 16 and put it on the EPMS score for that staff, which is now a replacement for APER. I do hope that this video helps. Thank you and God bless.